You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and now streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Glee. Tonight's host is Paul Ashton. Joining Paul will be AFTERBUZZ co-hosts Katherine Tulich, Katie Page, and Kat Bailess. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Glee news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, Paul Ashton.
Thank you very much, Rich, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen and Gleeks out there, to AFTERBUZZ TV for Glee Season 2, Episode 15, titled Sexy. I am here in the studio with Katherine, Kat, and Katie. The three Katherines are by birth name, I believe.
Oh wait, that's right. E-R-I-N-E.
Yeah, all
very
the
important.
same.
Yes.
Very important. So it's quite exciting for us. We've got two AFTERBUZZ virgins tonight. Miss Katherine Tulich, a fellow Australian. Hi. Welcome.
Thank you, Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, Katherine is a journalist. She writes for the LA Times and Washington Post and all sorts of great Australian publications. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katherine.
A comedian extraordinaire, Katie Page. Be ready for some biting cynicism and mostly probably directed at me. Of course, Kat is here. Buzz, our favorite mascot, down there on his favorite bed. At some point,
Buzz.
because we are now live on Ustream, we'll probably have to get a shot of Buzz at one point so you guys can see. Yeah, Buzz cam. Phil, can you make a note? Let's start
Did
developing.
you see his ear come up?
Yeah, he knows that we're talking about him. And of course, our boys in the Perspex booth, DJ Jesse and Big Phil. So it was a great episode tonight of Glee, directed, as you pointed out, Katherine, earlier, by Ryan Murphy. It's been a while since he's directed, and quite a fun one. There was a lot going on. We had Gwyneth Paltrow back, which I was not unhappy about at all. But also, before we get stuck into, the nitty-gritty, again, a kind of like a thematically driven Glee. The last AFTERBUZZ we did about Glee, Elizabeth and I spent a lot of time talking about the way that episode talked about alcohol. That was the theme, and how it kind of reminded me a little bit of those old school Degrassi Junior High episodes, or Beverly Hills 90210, the original, where there was like a thematic drive to a show, and it set it up very early and then develops the themes all the way through it. And we had it again tonight about sex and sex education, and to me it was an episode of two halves. The first half really rocked for me. The second half had a few holes, but that was more about the narrative development with the characters. What did you guys think of the way they introduced sex as a general issue? Was it successful? Did you like it?
I loved it.
Right,
I
why?
loved it. Well, first of all, it was inventive. Glee knows how to do it. They know how to turn the table. They know how to get our attention. I mean, come on, we're not in high school. So, for me to sit there and say, oh, okay, she's endearing, our Emma.
Right.
She comes on and she's got the celibacy club and it's cute and all, but come on, Gwyneth comes on. She's like, woo, sex.
That's
and
right.
She's got the cucumber and the condom.
So immediately we had like two sides of the sex debate, which probably is like alive and well in America. You got conservatives and you've got the celibacy thing, and
Did she have to bash on Tennessee?
Well,
really?
come on.
Well, granted, I'm not from Tennessee. I'm from Mississippi. So at least she didn't say Mississippi.
But they are the red states, Kat, and we do. That's where abstinence is promoted, right?
But I mean, I think it was kind of an obvious one to come on, though, isn't it? It's an obvious topic. I mean, in some ways, it was done well, but in some ways, it was an easy topic to do. Really.
But necessary at the same time, I think, because so many of these kids I don't think they're educated, right? Like they I mean, let's get stuck straight into it. I mean, we opened on the celibacy club, like that's the opening thing, and Emma's obviously
the leader. Yeah,
she's the leader, and she's got Quinn and Rachel there, who are both in timeout for various reasons, as to how much it's got to do with them just kind of tail between their legs trying to find an excuse.
Okay, can I say that how Quinn is totally sexing it up with that hair? I mean, she's looking.
What's that crimp thing she's got going?
Well, I mean, she looks completely different from last year. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if it's because she's become such a big movie star.
I was going to say, I think that's a Diana Agron thing.
I do too. I'm thinking that in their contracts right now, Santana's like, I want fake eyelashes. I want bigger boobs, and I think she might have some wrestling in her lips. I swear, Elizabeth and I did you?
Well, look, I think when I first saw Santana dance, I thought, yeah, definitely boob job. Then Katie was pointing out to me, no boob job.
I think it's a bra thing. I think it's a character
The bra
choice,
thing, I agree. Later on, when she was doing like horrific country version of great song Landslide, her boobs didn't seem as out there. But I reckon, lips and puffy cheeks.
I tell you,
either that or she's drinking too much.
And she's this big. So
for all of you who can't see, she's holding up her pinky finger. She's that
small. Yeah, she's not.
Yes, thank you, Katie.
There it is.
This is my favorite right here.
So we've got
Jazzercise.
We've got the telly on here in the studio for you podcasters out there, just playing the show in silent, and we're seeing the '80s Jazzercise scene, which was pretty hilarious. Let's just jump back though. So we I did love in that opening scene Emma's line about being terrified of the hose monster. I thought that was an absolute classic.
But when I understand she's very clean and she's always been very prim and proper, but when did she become such a prude? She wasn't always.
You don't think?
Had some steamy
she was terrified.
She's kissed before, and it was normal. And then her husband goes and brushes her arm, and she practically has a seizure.
Well, it felt
but there's a difference.
They were really forcing it.
Anna.
Yeah, it felt like it was kind of a tool used by the writers to give that side an empathetic voice.
Not empathetic. I think they were making her look ridiculous.
Okay, well,
it's ridiculous to be.
Emma's always had these crazy hang-ups,
we'll listen to her because she's not Mike Huckabee. She's Emma Pillsbury.
But you're saying they were doing this episode like they were gonna, because a lot of kids don't get sex ed. Do you really think they learned something from this?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right, tell me what they learned.
Well, let's get to it.
Please.
So,
please.
So Holly Holiday comes back, right? Holly Holiday comes back. Because this is a teacher.
Which sounds like a porn star.
Yeah.
Holly Holiday, doesn't it?
I don't think that's an accident.
There's a teacher who's out with herpes. Will forgets Emma's name. Which
that was also. I can't. I couldn't deal with that. It's a major case of the herp. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do. I'm a substitute teacher. That's what they do. They call me in the morning. They tell me, you know what? He has gonorrhea. He can't make it. You're gonna have to step in for phys ed.
That was very funny.
Absolutely not.
Anyway, so celibacy. So Emma's all about celibacy being, thinking celibacy's valid. Holly's like, it's not realistic. It's like vegetarianism for lions, which I thought was a great line as well. But the Glee kids are clueless, and so we get the two ideas placed up at the beginning. There's education, or there's celibate, or hiding them away and protecting their innocence. Sure. They're the two arguments that were placed to us through it, and I think there were a variety of educational opportunities that we'll come to as we go through the narrative.
There's something going
Let's
over there.
Let's not forget the lesson with the cucumber, where
that's
kids
right.
are going, what, cucumbers gives you AIDS?
Yeah, that's right. They had no idea.
But since when have they been clueless though? These kids, they're
only Britney.
The whole time. No,
Britney.
Finn's thought the whole time that he got that whole first season. He thought he got her pregnant with in a spa jacuzzi.
Sure, but I think we've been led to believe that most of them were having sex at this point with their significant others, or at least intimate. And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this song about sex," like as if this one song that they sexified is different than any other they've done.
This one here, Gary's letter.
What'd you think? Only man at the table.
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, look, basically.
Yeah, I want that jacket, by the way.
Heather Morris.
I'm going to Google.
I want that one.
Okay, you can take the purple one, just by the way.
Heather.
I'll just take the boobs.
Yeah. Heather Morris dancing to me is great, and the other girls. can't really keep up. But this was great. I mean, let's talk about the song because it's here right now.
Yeah, this is Gary Glitter.
It was Gary Glitter.
1973.
Do You Want to Touch Me There?
Yeah.
Share your little background info.
Well, if anyone remembers Gary Glitter, he was kind of the height of the glam rock in the 70s.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happened to him,
Well,
Katherine?
kind of disgraced. He was convicted with first of all pornography, and then I think he was arrested in Vietnam in around 2005 for having sex with minors.
That's about right.
I mean, and the irony cannot be lost on us as we watch these children dance to a Gary Glitter song.
Exactly.
Sexy. At the same time as
Gary
apparently,
Glitter.
I mean, I do take your point, Katie. As much as I will play the kind of the naive Glee optimist, there is a definite mixed message.
Is that what it is? Glee optimist.
Sometimes, or the devil's advocate, the positive.
Okay, sure. Devil's advocate, I'll take.
There is a slight mixed message, as there was with the alcohol. They're kind of like, there is a glamorization that happens with it, but at the same time, they're kind of probably by I think acknowledging in terms of the issue that these kids are gonna have sex, they're gonna drink, and being honest about it and showing that the adults do it as well and putting all that in, and then going, now we're gonna have fun with it. I don't know.
Well, I think there's a whole kind of tongue-in-cheek thing to it all. I think sort of
a little bit. You can't take it too seriously.
I don't know, but I think Mr. Schuster had the biggest hard on. I mean,
he had the biggest what?
Hard on.
Hard on.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's. I think Matthew Morrison must just be really into Gwyneth. Wouldn't you be? I mean, she really.
I think Matthew Morrison's just really into himself right these days.
I agree, Katie.
There were a couple of big ones.
Yeah, I don't know if we can jump to another song, but when they did Kiss, I didn't actually find that sexy between the two of them.
You didn't think there was any good.
I didn't think there was that much.
You didn't like his
chemistry.
slick back hair? You didn't think?
I didn't think there was that much chemistry between Matthew.
Yeah,
and
right.
She might have a point there.
Yeah.
But the other
I mean,
dancers.
that is a hot song.
The other dancers were hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
I didn't think it was that
they
hot.
They weren't getting any close-ups because I know a lot of dancers in LA, and I'm like going, no, that's not her. No, that's not. I couldn't tell. They didn't get any close-ups.
No, but also it was very clear that Matthew Morrison can dance a tango a lot better than Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, I'm not saying that he's great as a dancer.
I read something
a lot better.
I read something about where she was saying she was really hesitant because she felt like she was going to kick him in the balls. I read that today.
Tango is very close-knit.
Yeah. So is the waltz.
Yes.
For anyone who's waltzed out there, I've done some waltzing in my time, and
cool guy factor right
really?
now.
Well,
take note of that, ladies.
Look at this cool guy.
Next week, we're waltzing.
Absolutely. Well,
historically. How did I get pulled into this?
Historically,
I don't waltz.
the waltz was the first time that
I'll kick him in the balls,
the man's leg went in between a woman's leg. I mean, that was before that you never got that close.
Yeah.
And at a time when that never happened, you can imagine, all of a sudden it becomes quite a weighty little dance.
You are so sexy right now.
It is all the popping and locking you want, but that is sexy. Anyway, there were a couple of great quotes I liked from Holly just in the lead up to that first song. The first was when they were doing jazzercise and she said, "Grease it," as she's doing the hip stuff. I thought that was...
I thought that scene, they're making her ridiculous just for they have literally made her the most absurd character. They've given her every quirky thing you could possibly have in a person.
I mean, the 80s jazzercise, that was hilarious.
Yeah, and she teaches a jazzercise class in the science classroom. No,
it's
I don't think so.
And then she goes, "Well, that's a waste of a fine man butt."
Yeah, that's a waste of a fine man butt.
I think that's what women love. That's what we look at.
Sex is just like hugging,
Baseball
only
players,
wetter.
Football players.
And then Artie was like, "Yeah, it is." That was gross.
Sex is just like hugging, only wetter. I mean, that is... They just get away with amazing stuff on this show.
And then Artie literally was like,
"Yeah,
it is, buddy."
Yeah, but that only means one thing. I mean...
What's that?
I mean, when kids are watching this, how are they going to take that?
Well, I guess they know, or they're going to ask.
I think this entire episode has been an enormously confusing experience for a lot of children. I don't think this is made for them.
Every kid in America is going to hold up a cucumber and be like,
well,
condom.
Cucumber. Well, here's the thing.
Banana?
Here's the thing. When Ron Hoffman's been in before, he's one of our co-hosts. He's a big publicist here in LA. He has two daughters who are 11 and 13 or 14 by memory. And I mean, earlier in last season, we did a couple of shows and there were some risque bits, and we were like, "What do you say to your daughters when you're sitting there watching this with them?" But this season has taken it to another level. And but as far as I'm concerned, quite honestly, if it gets it on the table and gets them discussing it within the family households, I say it's good. I say it's healthy because not everyone is as
And
super
gay sex?
dad
Well,
as
and
super
gay
dad
sex?
as Mr. Hummel.
Well, interestingly enough, because they brought that whole topic in about parents talking about their kids and this, so that was a whole big scene.
It's
in
a whole
this.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah.
That was the only moment actually that I felt was genuine when he was like talking to.
He did that
Kurt.
very well.
But you know what it is? I mean, I think they get a bad. They were introduced, and it's like because they're singing, they're for kids all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? The show is not necessarily just for kids.
No.
And I don't think that Ryan Murphy would ever. I mean, he did Nip Tuck for you know. I mean,
no.
But also,
But
it
that's
comes
what's
on
great
at 8
about
o'clock
it.
at night.
But that's the thing.
That's
It's
true.
like prime time.
It is.
But that's what's great about it. I think it kind of does them all, and sometimes it's a bit clunky or cheesy, but it's fun. Of course, now we're seeing the bit where Sue comes in and tries to get the Warblers. What's she putting in her?
Okay.
Is that vinegar? Or
No, it's that
I think
syrupy
it's
stuff.
sugar. She's
just sugar syrup.
She put the
She's on a
packet
sugar
in.
high. She's kind of like totally putting
She
all
just
the
took the
sugar
paper
in.
and put it in.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I thought that she didn't even get coffee. I felt like she stole
I think it was
a cup,
just sugar, wasn't
and she
it?
was
Glucose
just pouring
syrup.
the sugar in there.
But
Total
she
sugar
plans to
syrup.
see. Do you think she was just stirring up trouble,
Yeah.
right? Trying to get the Warblers to sex it up, and then she's going to take Oral Intensity in some other direction. I can't
And they go,
believe
"We
they're
heard
called
you."
Oral Intensity. It's amazing.
And then they go, "We heard you push them, the guy down the stairs," and she goes,
Can't prove
"Can't
it.
prove that."
Yeah. And speaking of great quotes, Emma just walked off screen when she said, "Well, that's fine. I'm going to nail Holly to the wall." After she gets into Will about them talking
kinda
about
hot.
sex so openly, and Will's like, "All right, come back and sing a song about celibacy," and offers her the counter argument, which I thought was kind of good.
Yeah.
I think you guys have skipped over an entirely. There's a really important thing
Go
you
back,
missed in
go
there.
back.
No, it's when Will comes into the classroom and Brittany is talking about how she has a bun in the oven. And he
Oh,
said,
yeah,
"Are you
that's
pregnant?" She goes,
earlier, yeah.
"Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'm
Because she
pregnant."
thinks she's getting it from the store.
Right,
Yeah.
but like I also like the idea that the teacher would go, "Oh, are you pregnant, Brittany?" Like that would happen in a classroom.
Yeah.
Brittany
But-
thinks she's pregnant. "Oh, are you? Are you pregnant?"
Hasn't that? What about you've done some teaching?
Yeah.
Hasn't there been some preggers kids?
Yeah, but as a teacher, you're not allowed to go, "Oh, is that what's going on?" in front of the entire classroom.
Yeah, but this is Glee World,
Glee,
not
yes.
real
No,
world.
yeah, I know. There've been
Okay.
pregnant kids, but they hide it with sweatshirts and stuff like normal kids.
Lovely.
Oh, God.
We did I
God.
did love Lauren's quote to Puck. If your lovemaking is as good as your powers of deduction, I'm in for a wild ride, or something
I
to
can't
that
even.
effect.
That entire relationship is such a
It's
joke
so
to me.
weird.
Wow,
It's a
you
bit
don't- you
much.
don't-
Joke.
Speaking about jokes, can we talk about the Warblers' rendition of Neon Trees in a deserted warehouse that we're seeing on the screen
With the
right now?
all-girls school.
With the all-girls
Right?
school who started like...
They
getting-
look like they're 10.
Yeah.
First of all, they don't even
They're,
look like
they're Darren Chris's real demographic. Right?
They probably want a contest.
Can I just ask, this was
Of,
weird.
like, a Sprite can.
This to me was, I mean, the jazzercise was weird, but it was funny. I don't know why we're suddenly in a warehouse, and this just kind of...
It's like
a
they
flip.
ran out
That's
of
a nice
set
little flip
ideas,
right there.
doesn't it? It's like,
It was,
you know,
to me, it was
yeah.
totally half-baked. I really
Yeah.
they didn't pull this off at all for me. It was, I mean, if you're gonna
Yeah.
suddenly turn up in a warehouse, use the space, get some choreography, and then don't waste the great idea of a bubble bath. The bubble
The bubble
foam.
machine. The bubble machine.
Now, if
They
anyone's
should
ever...
have saved the bubbles
Yeah.
for Britney or
That's
something.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Like them stripping their
Have you
clothes
ever?
and
Has
washing
anyone
each
ever
other.
been into a club with a bubble foam machine?
Oh, that stuff's disgusting. That is
Okay,
so
Paul, so you
unsanitary.
have a-
I'm from a
Obviously.
little town in Australia originally
Wagga
called Wagga
Wagga?
Wagga.
Oh, Wagga, okay.
And a mate of mine's 21st, we went into town to Romano's, the
to
only
get
club.
That would
hepatitis
happen
C
in
from a
Wagga.
bubble machine that touches a million people. It's disgusting.
And yeah, upstairs there's a little bit and it just gets filled with foam and everyone gets wet and
You missed that.
it was a great
You
night.
missed that.
There was some crazy
that was so
stuff went
long
on
ago,
that night.
though, when he was
People in Wagga.
25.
This was 21. Thank you very much.
Even longer. Even longer.
Keep counting.
that?
But see, I just think this was like, we're out of time. We don't
What
have
do we do
enough.
now?
we don't have enough time today to get this shoot done properly. Let's just, I don't know. I felt like they ran out of time.
They should have saved these bubbles for a laundromat scene. Like the Doritos commercial, you know, when that girl goes and she catches the Dorito. They should have remade that, and then they should have
and got Brittany in the
Yes.
lead, Heather Morris.
And she would have done her little flip in the splits. I know.
They have to exploit her as much as they can because she doesn't really sing.
Yeah,
like she did tonight, her beautiful rendition of
She did
Landslide.
some serious acting tonight for about the first time, like strung together more than a one-liner.
Well, we should talk about the Santana and Britney.
Yeah.
That's a whole
That is a whole.
story.
When I say serious, I mean made an attempt at.
Okay, because I feel like in that scene when they were all singing the Dixie Chicks version of Landslide, like somebody told Santana something they didn't tell the rest of us.
I know.
She was
terrible.
She's extremely upset about something. I had no idea what it was. The song has nothing to do with whatever they were talking about.
It was about.
And Britney was just staring into space, trying to do a math problem or something.
And Gwyneth was looking at Will like it meant something. It was that was
it
a
was
real.
weird.
That really dropped the ball with that one.
And then all I could do is look at Gwyneth, and I was going, "Can she really play the guitar?"
No, well, yeah, she learned for Country Strong, but it took a couple
But I
of
mean,
months to
come
learn
on
it.
as well.
She wanted to use those guitar lessons.
If you're gonna do that was
Dixie
wasn't.
Chicks. If they wanted to do a Dixie Chicks song, there.
But why if you're gonna do that song? It's such an amazing song. Smashing Pumpkins had it as a B-side to Disarm in like 1990 something, late 1990s. And it was amazing.
Stop aging yourself.
He really is.
Just kidding.
Thanks for that. What was that voice, I would like to ask? We all know.
That was my man voice.
Yeah, that was Darth Vader, like Mark II. That's all I've got to come back with.
Where's Ashanti when we need him?
Yeah, I know. Anyway, but you've got Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, but I mean that Landslide is such a beautiful emotional song, and I just thought they just waltzed through that song. There was no emotion in that at all, and
But
I mean,
also-
There was emotion, was forced emotion that I'm not sure. Someone put it on me and I didn't want it.
You nailed it though, Katie. I mean, come on. I mean, I thought that she was literally gonna fall over and like get on the floor and start beating the floor. Like
It was terrible.
Like she knew
terrible.
something.
Thank you. It was a terrible version of Landslide.
It was a terrible version, and I don't know why they got Santana to do that. I did not believe that all of a sudden she wanted to be a lesbian with Britney.
That we can't even.
That whole scene. Let's save that scene when we get toward the end. We're hearing. I mean, God, it's such a great song, and it could have been
they did a
used
better
so
Do you think someone should stop telling Gwyneth she could sing?
You don't like her voice?
I think she's so average.
Thank you. It's bland.
It's bland.
Sing it to the man.
It's an actor voice. She can hold a tune, but she is no singer.
Is this her? No. Oh, this is Stevie.
Yeah.
This is her.
Yes, this is actually from Glee.
Yeah.
Okay, I will
pretty
tell you
shame.
this much, because they've done autotune and all that mess, you know.
Yeah.
They
After
did.
they have two people who don't sing on it.
I know, right? So they sang it better than Taylor Swift did.
Oh, that's not hard.
Well,
Taylor
that's
Swift
not
can't
hard.
sing. She's terrible.
Taylor Swift can't even hold a tune.
Yeah.
And she's the biggest star
And
in the world.
I mean, did anyone see at the Grammys when she sang with
CeeLo?
when she sang with
Stevie.
Oh, you're
with
talking
Stevie Nicks?
Oh,
wasn't it?
Stevie
Oh,
Nicks
you mean
looked
Taylor Swift.
so pissed.
Oh my
It was
God.
terrible
Taylor
with
Swift
who we're
cannot
talking about.
hold a tune.
No, and she's up there.
Embarrassing.
I mean, and Stevie Nicks barely performs anymore, and she come on with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift can't hold a
Well,
tune
and with
around
the
her.
two of them singing together, it was a little bit of like, oh my God, somebody.
It's getting hot
Can
in
we
here,
get
people.
somebody
I
on
know.
there? You know,
Talk
that
about-
doesn't sing like Bob Dylan. Listen,
Look, let's just. What were we going?
I just wanted to go back really quickly.
Yeah, we do. We
Before they did that song, Gwyneth goes, well, why don't we try and find a song, and maybe the lyrics will help start a dialogue between you two.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys. All right.
That
Listen,
was-
Glee. We
yeah.
get it. We get it.
Yeah.
Music is
Heels.
really important. Everybody should
it.
have it. It helps us express ourselves. But that was like...
But
was
that's
just
almost a
It was a
line
bit
into
much.
a lot of songs about let's find a song. I mean, how many times have they used that line?
Yeah.
But how many
So many
times has someone
times.
has someone said to you, you know what, I can't express this. Why don't we have a conversation through lyrics?
Well, I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind it as. I mean, like there are so many different ways that they use to like segue into songs, and
Right.
it is just remarkable how the same thing in a different episode. In one episode it'll work, and in another it'll be like clunky trash. It is really. And tonight a lot of them clung to me a little bit as segues into music. There are other times where it's seamless, and I'll go anywhere with
them. Why
them.
do you need to? I mean, if you go back to old musicals, you
don't
never
need to.
you never had to set up a line like
No.
that. So that's kind of lazy writing to me. I mean, you should be able to just go into the
and
song.
sometimes they don't. They just do go straight into it, and it
this
works
is
perfectly.
the scene, isn't it? No.
This is the one with them in their bedroom.
Well, this is
Her
where they're
bedroom.
This is
talking
where
about
we
it for
first
the
noticed
first.
that Santana's boobies aren't as big as they were before.
Yeah, and
no,
she
it's still
says it's not cheating when we kiss because the plumbing's different.
Right.
That is a classic line, and I really quite enjoyed that.
And something we're going to
missed
talk about later.
What was that?
It went like this. I didn't get it.
Oh, you're so sweet. That's why we need sex ed in the South, darling.
We do.
No.
Y'all can come teach it. These Aussies.
There was a double entendre in that one as well, but we're getting a bit anyway.
AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What's that? What does that mean? Does that mean we said we're getting a bit double on? Is that the double entendre?
Yes, that's exactly.
Was that the AfterBuzz equivalent of Boom Ching?
Yeah.
we had T-Pain come in and sing that one for you.
God bless T-Pain. So Puck and Lauren, we're seeing here, they're thinking about making a sex tape because Lauren wants to get a recording contract. That's not. I didn't even think that was funny. I just thought it was stupid.
Why don't you like the Puck and Lauren thing? A lot of people are really, even Rosie. I think Rosie O'Donnell's been tweeting about this, and then she sort of said she liked it. I mean, there's been a lot of controversy about.
I get what they're trying to do.
This
I understand
relationship,
but it's just completely inconsistent with his character. Like he's been just trashing people who weren't, bombshells.
Yeah.
For the entire show, and all of a sudden he gets an enormous crush on this girl who, I mean, they made
the reason why I think it's. I agree. I kind of don't. I have never really bought it, apart from the fact that she said no and been so mean to him. It's provided the chase.
That's exactly what I agree with. I think you've got to take away how she looks. I think it's the attitude and whether he's got issues going on with his mother or whatever. We don't know, but it's this kind of thing of like the bossy. She's actually this dominant woman that is so confident. I think that's the attraction for him.
Right, but I think it just came out of nowhere. That was what really hit me. Yeah. It was like she was on, 9 episodes, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, and I have a thing for Lauren."
It was the closet scene where 7 minutes in heaven. No.
Oh, that's right. She was an amazing kisser as well.
Yes,
I think
that's what it was. Because he was trapped in the closet, and then she came to save him, and then she said, "Give me kisses" or something like that. Am I right? And then she said,
she stopped it early. He thought he was gonna get stuck with her for 7 minutes, but she was like, "I'm not into it."
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I totally get it. Okay, so that goes with the chase. I get it. I just think it came out of left field, and they're forcing it.
Well, I also think maybe that wasn't she supposed to be just a recurring, and kind of they've written her in more?
Obviously, yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, it wasn't because of her fantastic musical number last week.
Well, I don't think she's got much music ability, has she?
No, that's right.
She's funny. Yeah. The part about the Kardashians, she's like, "I just want to be a Kardashian. I want a TV show and a fragrance."
But
I was like,
but the thing
I can't make her facial expression.
That it's a pretty decent rendition, but I'm not sure on who she is sometimes in terms of the writing, because she says that stuff and yet she's like, maybe it is consistent now. I'm just confusing myself. Anyway, let's talk about Kurt and Blaine, because they're up on the telly right now.
Blaine's getting on my nerves.
Speaking of Polyface.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have to say, don't you think Kurt's kind of being overshadowed a bit by Blaine?
Totally.
I mean, what's
Tonight was
going on?
the first time we've heard Chris Colfer sing in weeks.
Has Ryan Murphy promised Chris Colfer that you're going to have some really big scenes and big shows coming up? Because this whole season, he's really stepped into the background, and I'm
which is weird.
It's
so
weird.
He just won an Emmy.
I think it was the
and
first
he was
half
the
of the
character.
first.
Globe, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Up until Blaine's entrance, it was all Chris.
Yes.
It was all him, and that's how he's got his Globe. And now, on the end of last season, and now
he's going to share the spotlight. I'm just wondering how he's,
You know who else Darren Criss is taking action away from is Matthew Morrison. We haven't seen him sing in forever. He barely ever sings anymore. In the first,
season,
he sang every episode.
Yeah. Well, I actually want to step in. One thing with Chris's character that I've been reading a lot in the blogs and Twitter and all that, a lot of gays are actually kind of complaining that his character is a little too stereotypical.
Yep.
So I believe that's kind of why they brought in another, they have now the down low. What was it? What's
that
his
makes
name?
sense.
You know what? The
straight gay guy.
And that trees, the Neon Trees song, Chris really was kind of a caricature of himself, and it's like, since when did he not be? Was he unable to, perform a song and have a little bit of?
That did not feel authentic to me. This whole face pulling thing. I mean, I get it. I get it as a writing tool. It was
they had to segue into that whole sex talk, but
his romance and stuff. But I don't know that it needs to be laid on as thickly.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a wonderful showman. He's been doing it the whole, I mean, it's a little bit silly, but...
Yeah, I mean, all he needed to do was do it and feel like do it genuinely and feel uncomfortable exposing himself, and then that generates the chat with Blaine that they have as they try. You know, I mean, it's funny pulling faces in the mirror. You could have done that. It was a bit of a Zoolander moment. You know, like in Zoolander, how every single one of Zoolanders looks the same.
Blue Steel.
Blue Steel. All the different names.
Orange mocha frappuccino.
Yeah, and I love the Zoolander moment. Then we came into the next song, Kiss by Prince. Such a great song. What did we think of this version, the Tango? We did touch on it before. I like the design on this.
I think it looks great. I just don't get much heat between the two of them, which I think is we're supposed to be feeling. Right?
I'm all hot on that woman in the back with the curly hair.
Do you think Gwyneth was too busy trying to dance?
Yeah, I think she was trying to get the steps right.
Yeah.
She's nervous.
Yeah. That's what I'm
just
feeling.
like she was at the Oscars.
Excuse me. Yeah. So this was. I mean, relative to the other songs, I enjoyed this because I love Prince. But yeah, it was certainly we did better later on, and I loved.
Okay, trivia.
Oh.
What does this song remind you of? What movie?
Pretty Woman.
Okay.
Why? Is that terrible? Have I just outed myself?
No, I just thought it was going to take a little longer than that.
You did that.
Have I just... What closet have I just walked out of? I'm not sure. There might be several.
And here's where they make out in front of the band that's still sitting in there that no one wanted to believe me, but they're still there.
They're still there. No, I was not believing you. I just didn't think it mattered. I thought it was very funny. I really wish they'd done a cutaway to the band just going...
Well, wait,
the moment after.
There's a little head right there.
Yeah, they're there. They're totally there. And she says, I'm damaged goods.
That's a great line.
It means I'm great in bed, but I snap guys like you into two like a something wafer.
Wassa crackers.
Wassa crackers. I don't even know
what is a
that
wassa?
is.
Yeah.
Tell the Aussies what
Cultural dictionary required.
They're like these rye crackers. They're really dry and healthy.
Flaky.
Yeah.
Like a Sayo biscuit.
Like after you do the master cleanse, you can only eat wassa crackers.
I think they're kosher.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, I think they're.
I'm sure they're everything. You know, they're everything healthy for you. So anyway, after this commercial break, maybe you can fast forward through that, boys, because we're doing this is free advertising. I don't know if we can get some. Maybe we can get some, some deals. Maybe I can get some. What do you call it? Endorsement.
Free Wassa crackers.
Sponsor.
Sponsors out there, like I'll take personal endorsement.
I'll take Virgin America. We can fly anywhere.
Well, you
can fly to Chicago after Memorial Day.
You can really put some meaning into the name Virgin America because you're
I'll
from
say that every time on the air if
Mississippi.
anyone wants me to.
And you can say what?
Right. I'll say that every time on the air if anyone wants me to. That you can go to Chicago after May 25th. On Virgin America. I'm really excited about it.
Because Katie's a Chicago girl.
I am. I'm from Chicago.
And maybe
I love Chicago. I will go with you anytime.
Oh, come. You can hang out at my parents' house.
Love it.
Have good home-cooked meals.
It's a smaller, cleaner New York. That's what it is.
Is it really? I can't wait to go. I've never been. Have you been?
I love Chicago. It's probably my favorite city.
See?
Really?
My favorite, except for the weather.
Pretty cold, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. The weather is fantastic.
Anyway, so then Blaine goes and visits Mr. Hummel in the mechanic shop, and we have our sex ed chat again. We come back to the issues. Oh,
sorry, we were getting off track. Apparently,
the
it's the
education.
look he's giving me.
No, it's a callback to the beginning because then now we develop them.
No, you're doing a very good job. Keep going.
No, I'm doing a great job. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this Hummel scene, where the issues come back, and Blaine turns up and says, "Look, Kurt needs to someone to." Pull the wool out of his ears and have a frank discussion about sex ed. Otherwise, he's going to make mistakes later on.
He's going to make mistakes anyway. I just think
this
is a little weird.
It was definitely weird, but I did like the moment where he goes, "Maybe I'm stepping over the line," and he goes, "Yeah."
That's what I was thinking right before he said that. I was like, this is so awkward. Like, who does this? Yes, you're overstepping. Go back home.
And if he knows so much, why doesn't he tell Kurt about it?
That's what I was thinking.
Why is he like, you know what? I'm not going to tell him as a friend and make it comfortable. I'm going to get his dad to sit down real awkwardly and give him some pamphlets because I think that's what he needs.
Why doesn't he get he's a friend.
My parents never
is the hood was gonna
give
fall
the
on
sex
him.
talk.
You think
I thought the car was gonna smash him.
he's a mechanic?
I don't care.
Is this would that have helped the scene somehow?
Yes.
That would have moved it along.
Might have made it more naturalistic.
So who had the talk with their parents? Did your parents ever sit you down and have the talk? Certainly yours didn't.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no. I had the nuns do it. I went to Catholic school.
Do you guys?
Me too.
You did too?
Catholics, 12 years in a Catholic school.
Me too, girl.
Do you guys remember a book called Where? Did you have it here? Called Where Do I Come From?
Did you say wet?
Where do I come from?
Say it in American.
Where did I come from?
Yeah,
It's
I've
a
never heard.
book. It's a book written with funny. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Funny drawings for a parent to read.
Drawings, if anyone's wondering what that was.
I got it.
Drawings.
Like illustrations.
Okay.
Illustrations to for a parent to read to their kids, so that if they don't know how to do the talk. That's what I got read.
Drawings.
Okay, if they don't know how to do the talk, what parents are having this talk anymore?
Was there a cucumber
I don't know
involved?
anybody.
I don't think so. So then we cut to Landslide, as we've already discussed, this horrendous Dixie Chicks version.
Give us your opinion, Catherine the Great.
Which really didn't work. And all of a sudden, Santana cares, and always...
She's dressed like a virgin right now.
Well, someone stuck some tear stick on her nose, and now she can't stop tearing up. And she has to put something behind it.
I was trying to think, what meaning are they trying to get out of it?
I have no idea. I know the lyrics to this song, and I cannot, for the life of me, tell
Oh,
you.
look, and he's got the dark and
Let's
stormy
try to
look.
sing it right now.
And here's the thing: Ryan Murphy's directed this ep, I feel like he's trying to draw stuff out that maybe didn't. It was a bit heavy-handed and didn't always work. I don't know. Look at that. Anyway.
Getting older, really? You're in high school.
Yeah, and then
I'm getting older.
but then she brings that line back later at the end when she's like, maybe we should date. I'm getting older. Maybe I should be with someone for more than 36 hours. Like they're pretty open about what a one night stand is in this episode. I don't know.
So you don't think it's given Santana a little more depth because she's explaining why she's so angry all the time.
That was the attempt. That was the attempt.
Really a lesbian and she hasn't come out.
Well,
look, it makes sense that the girl who comes out as a lesbian would sleep with all the guys because they're trying to figure it out. I'm telling you, I think that actually,
to her.
I actually think that makes sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't mean anything to her.
But this is so. I mean, the cuddling with the girl didn't mean anything either. That was just her. I don't know, this is out of the blue.
Yeah.
It's weird.
In a way, they put egg on her face a little bit because she didn't have much of it. She's been directed this way, I think, and it's been written that way, and I don't think she had much of a chance as an actress.
I'm actually proud of her.
Why are you proud of her, Kat?
Because I did not think she was this deep, and she gave me depth.
Well, that's why I think this
and maybe
it's an attempt to give Santana and the actress a little more to do.
Does she have stuff in her forehead? Because it doesn't look like it's
child,
in there.
Well, no, she could have put a little Botox right here. I think that Gwyneth has a little Botox too. Look, this HDTV stuff. This HDTV is just not forgiving.
No. I noticed Gwyneth didn't have any earlobes too. That was
Guys.
I was like, how many times have I seen Gwyneth and I never noticed she didn't have earlobes?
I noticed way back in Great Expectations days.
Wait, what? She doesn't have earlobes?
She doesn't have earlobes.
It's has those ears that go straight up.
Yeah, I just noticed that tonight.
I mean, she never shows her ears.
That's right.
Look, she's gorgeous no matter what. And her hair, whatever gloss she's using, I gotta have it.
But what was this? She had, Rachel's yeah, go girls, well done. That was fantastic. Brava.
Well, it wasn't much of a show for Rachel, was it? She was really...
Yeah, Rachel was in the background.
Really in the background here.
What was that it's okay that you're a lesbian? Is that what she was saying? Because then...
Yeah. Essentially, and then Santana basically shot her down.
Saying, don't say I'm a lesbian just because I sang with Brit? Is that what...
Right, and then Brittany looks confused again like she always does, and I'm confused.
I was
and
confused
the whole thing's
because
confusing. And
how's
everybody
Rachel
was
Berry
confused.
supposed to know that they're even hooking up and that this was about them?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, we go back to the celibacy club. Puck has now joined because he wants to be set straight because he could have gone to jail for shooting a sex tape with Lauren.
Okay, that's kind of crazy.
That would have got him in trouble again. This I did not
this
buy.
was not at all. This was really ridiculous.
And then
this was the best.
This absolutely.
Oh, come on. This was the best song.
Katie,
Highlight.
you nailed it. She goes, oh, I know who they're getting in there. And then John Stamos, and it was literally like we planned the whole thing. And then John Stamos
How
comes
is he
up.
still cool? How is John Stamos
managed?
How has he managed to come out of Full House unscathed?
Because he was the drummer for the Beach
Right,
Boys.
exactly.
Because he's
cool.
single again.
Yeah.
He's single again, and he dates
I
girls
don't know.
really young.
He's just, you know, it's a little bit, and I mean, it's a little bit like, you know, Jason Bateman has that thing that doesn't matter what he does, he's immune. He's immune to badness or uncoolness. He's a god. Stamos has like a 10% version of that. And it's like he feels immune to me. I you know, like he's
even
just
show
fun.
him in this silly tie.
But
or
this
whatever.
was the highlight of the show.
Without
it
a
was,
doubt.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's awesome.
The pictures of the pies behind, that is just fantastic.
But I've heard of
staging this.
Afternoon Delight, the dessert. Have you?
No, I haven't.
that's
I only
it,
knew
right
the
there.
song. I never heard of
So
the
Afternoon
dessert.
Delight is a pie. The song's about going out for a mid-afternoon hoo-ha in the
Yes.
back Watsy.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
By Watsy I meant field
Yeah,
or
tell
car,
us- tell us
not
where-
part of the body.
Where do you do the
Can we have another one of those da-dum-chings, please? But who's this song by, Catherine?
Starland Vocal Band. Probably their one and only hit.
Who are they?
1976.
And
They were like, kind of like a
and
Manhattan
they look like they're out of
Transfer.
Big Love or something.
It's Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
Brady
a-
I felt like
Bunch
I would be like,
Yeah.
It is very much
Christian,
the Brady Bunch.
gospel,
They were sort of a
Mormon.
Manhattan Transfer kind of vocal group, and this was their one hit.
Hilarious.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then John Stamos' character goes up to Gwyneth Paltrow and asks if she holds office hours
Yeah.
as a
'cause
substitute teacher, and she says, "Of course I do."
oh yeah, and then she
Yeah.
acts as a doctor.
she doesn't claim to be anything more than she is, a sexpert. Of course, but so we're into Dad of the scene, which I call Dad of the Year, where
Michael
Mr. Hummel is.
I know.
But here's the thing. I mean, it was a bit clunky getting to it. It was clear that they wanted to have this scene, and they wrote in opportunities for them to provide it.
Right.
Well,
They went
forgive him that.
backwards.
I'm going to forgive him that because I did think that this scene was actually handled well. And full credit to Mr. Hummel, if you can remind us of the actor's name.
Michael Malley.
Michael Malley. Thanks, Katie. I mean, he doesn't really stuff up this guy. He really does tend to deliver I mean, he's so well cast. He delivers it, and you know, Chris Colfer as well was just well pitched.
Yeah.
Every freaked out 15-year-old is when their mum or dad tries to say anything about sex.
Well, I think this is an example of two great actors that can carry lines, and I think that's what elevates these sort of scenes.
Yeah.
Because they're both so good at, no matter what the dialogue is, they're both really good.
And again, I love, but this to me was like the most important message of the whole show. If I can try and sneak in a bit of the issue, like thematic development, was that you just make sure it's not. What did he say? It's not about.
He said to make it important, make it about getting having a physical connection with somebody, and not
use
just
it to connect with someone, not just because you can. And I did like bringing up the distinction between at least superficially the difference between men and women and the way that they can approach sex. And everyone knows for guys can stick in and walk away.
And then he spoke to his son like he was the woman in the relationship.
But it's
don't throw yourself around.
But it's an interesting point though to say that don't think that it's not doing something to you, even though as a man you can walk away from it more easily.
Yeah.
I mean, these are generalizations, but they're generalizations for a reason because there are it probably tends to be more true more often than not.
Over years
and years and the entire human existence.
Years and years.
That it holds more baggage for one gender than another sometimes, but at the same time it does do something to you. And I think men who systematically just one night stand and end up being kind of dead inside because you're kind of denying some part of yourself. And I like that.
Oh, Paul. Oh.
Ladies, my number is 323.
We're feeling sorry for you now.
But don't you think that that's kind of changed these
Don't
days?
feel sorry for him.
Don't feel sorry for me at all. I'm just saying, I think I liked that. I liked that that there are young blokes who think it's cool to out there hearing this. I think it's good. I think it's healthy.
Yeah, but there are women out there that like the too.
Absolutely. I said it's a generalization, but that's not to say that it doesn't go both ways.
Oh yeah.
Just use it to connect, not to be a slut. That was the
That
message.
was the only moment in the show that I went, okay, I'll give that one to them. Like literally everything else was so forced and so orchestrated.
You weren't happy with it tonight, were
I
you,
was
Dom?
not happy with it, but that moment was genuine, and I think Michael Malley really does kind of elevate everything for me.
Yeah.
I think they write things for him that are just so so much better than anybody else on this show.
Certainly that was like
he's the most grounded character.
I was just gonna say he's the most grounded.
He's the most interesting, and I know they have an agenda behind it. They want to make, they want to turn this everyman into, some sort of
spokesman
for the parent
poster
of
boy
of a gay teen, and I totally get that agenda, but he doesn't force it. He does it so nicely.
But I think it's an important balance that he doesn't force it, but their agenda is clear. Like Ryan Murphy's agenda is clear, and I have no problem with that. In fact, I think it's a great agenda, but it's just fantastic that it's packaged in a way that is so completely palatable and not in your face. And understated. Then of course we have this big moment kind of where Gwyneth, the sexpert Gwyneth, gets to the bottom of the fact, or the reason why 4 months after marriage, John and Emma still haven't consummated the marriage.
And then she goes
out.
We're
cuddle monsters.
But then she goes out and hooks up with Will after finding out that Emma has confused feelings. She's like, check. Got that. And then she turns around and is like, and by the way, Will, like, let's get it on since Emma's prude, but she does love you.
She says, she's a bit mean. She says, your lips are sealed just like your legs. Kind of a bit.
I love that.
And then she's like, yeah, I'm jealous because I see that some other woman wants you. No better way to score someone than to be wanted by someone else.
Of course.
Right?
That's how it works.
Wanted property. Then, of course, Santana comes clean, tells us that she's a bitch because she's angry inside and doesn't know how to talk about her feelings. I feel like she just came off a massive bender, like an all-night bender in this scene. She really does look puffed up.
Well, I think that I want to talk about Brittany because I really like her, but I feel like they could do better on her makeup. I'm sorry, I'm being a girl right now.
Talking about Santana?
No, I'm talking about Brittany too.
Oh, yeah.
Because she always has these dark, puffy circles under her eyes. It's like, I know she's older, but y'all, come on. You can fix that on TV, right? Don't you think? Like, see that?
Absolutely you could, but I
Are they
don't know
trying to
what it
dress her down? Is that her thing? Or
Who, Brittany?
Yeah.
They might be.
Well, if they're turning them both into lesbians this season, you can expect a big dressing down.
Britt doesn't.
No makeup.
But they're lipstick lesbians, It's
that's
not
right.
like the real.
I played a lipstick lesbian.
How was that for you?
I was Southern. It was great. I didn't
get
to kiss anybody.
Southern lipstick lesbian.
A Southern lipstick lesbian.
That sounds about right.
Who did you get to make out with?
Nobody. I just talked about it. I did a scene with Tate Donovan in this movie last year. And
right, the guy from Damages. Yeah, he's great.
But I just talked about it. He had no idea that I was lesbian until I said something about it. It was a really cute scene.
But this scene here, I mean, here's what happened. Okay, what happened between the writing of the scene we've just seen with Kurt and his dad? Really well written, subtle. All of a sudden, we're in like soapy on acid land.
Yeah, but what are they going to do now? Are they going to take away her bitchiness because now she's sort of like
no, because she'll get it back. Yeah.
Any epiphanies here last as long as like a high
she was rejected, so she'll be back.
I think the storyline is going to fall to the wayside, and no one's even going to remember it.
Yeah, it has to, because it was just silly. I love you and I want to be with you, and let's forget Artie. He's just a boy. I thought she was gonna
just a boy.
I thought she was gonna say he's just a stupid boy in a wheelchair. I was waiting for that. I thought it was gonna be really mean.
I just can't stop staring at her face.
Well, it wasn't me who said it. It was what they were going to
say.
say.
I'm sorry. No, you just said it.
They were going to say it. I was
I don't
quoting
think they were.
it.
Did you talk to Ryan and he was like, I was gonna write this in?
Yeah, whatever.
No, this is just where your brain went.
Well, that's what I thought they were going to say.
Don't put this on the show.
No, well, there's plenty we can put on the show today. That's the least of it.
Exactly, okay.
Lauren gets stuck into Park for being celibate, and then he gets a kisses the next bit that we're going to see that comes after the commercial. She's like, you're a loser for joining the celibacy club. But then it kind of...
And she's like, but I'll join with you, and kisses him.
So she gets her. Is it that she's protected by it because underneath her her big strong violent, or not violent, aggressive facade, she's terrified.
I'm so over
this.
I
mean, I'm waiting for those scenes, right?
I'm so scared and
that's
terrified.
Got to happen. That's
we can
coming,
join the
right?
celibacy club, and I don't have to be exposed as being self-conscious and whatever in front of you, the hot badass bad guy, sultry whatever. Is that what it's about?
Yeah, but isn't her character is supposed to be more, knowledgeable than the others? I feel like she came in.
Or is she selling that just like Blaine did to us about his knowledgeability about being, out of the closet? Which a few weeks ago we found out, he really...
So everyone's kind of faking
a
persona in a way.
Is anybody faking it, or is this just inconsistent writing?
It's hard to know.
Wait, I thought that Blaine was bi.
No, he said,
No,
yep,
no,
definitely
he
gay.
tried that out.
He tried it out with
Tried
Rachel.
it out.
Yeah, but by the end of the
By the end, he
episode-
said he was definitely gay.
Yeah, she ran up
It
and
only
kissed
took
him.
47 minutes.
Yeah, she ran up and kissed him, and was like, and he was like, I'm definitely gay, and that gave Rachel her reason to be artistically pained because she turned a guy gay. That was quite funny.
I've done that. I've been there, done that.
You turned a guy gay?
Talk more.
Well, certainly you didn't turn him gay, but...
Well, I think I did because I was his first and last girlfriend at the age of 7. And now, yes, he is now
I just smashed into the set.
And yes, I was still a virgin, but
when you were 7?
Yes.
I hope so.
Sheepers.
I know. It's what
I think most of us in this room were.
They make him different down there and
Yes,
down in
they
Mississippi.
do. But kudos to you, Jason. I love Jason. Jason is one of my best friends.
Oh, and she name dropped him.
Oh.
He is officially out now.
Oh, he's married to Dale Shores, and they have a happy relationship. And that's where Ashanti is. That's why Ashanti's not with us today.
Right.
He is doing all the costume designs for
their wedding. Tell me they have costume designs for their wedding.
No, they're already married. I know. It would have been amazing. No, Dale Shores is doing the trials and tribulations of a trailer trash housewife. And Octavia Spencer, who is now in the current Help that's coming out, you know, that big movie.
Oh, right. She's
the star.
Yep.
She's playing Minnie. So anyway.
That girl's getting sued, that woman who wrote that book.
Oh, yeah, Katherine Tulich. And then...
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Whoa, boom.
Am I exclusive here?
Yeah,
Yeah, Jason's gay, everybody. Exclusive.
My first and last boyfriend. Oh, we were in a you love this. So we were both in a wedding. We were both flower girl, and he wasn't flower girl. He was the ring bearer, and I thought I was getting married. I was so confused.
Oh dear, this explains an awful lot.
They really don't tell you anything down there.
Nothing.
Anyway, here's the kiss, guys. Here's the kiss. Lauren Plants went on Park under the veil of protection of the Celibacy Club. He's been waiting for that for a while.
I'm sure as actors, that was just as awkward as me kissing Lee Norris on One Tree Hill.
Really? Why was it awkward kissing Lee Norris?
Because Lee Norris his name is Mouth on the show, and his lips are huge. That's why
he's still on the show. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, Lee Norris. Yeah, he's still on the show. And so, it was really pretty awkward, you know? I mean, I'm sure that was awkward. They've never kissed people like that.
Well, they did. They did kiss in the closet, I remember.
I know.
They did. They have kissed before.
Yeah. Still, could have been. Sometimes it's more awkward the second time. Anyway, then everyone's all of a sudden joined the Celibacy Club. It's an all-in. The whole Glee Club is basically claiming to be celibate, and we notice that Quinn has a hickey. And it's revealed to us in the next cutaway that, in fact, future prom king and queen, Finn and Quinn are... hooking it.
I mean, if she's mature, she's already had a kid. She's not getting hickeys anymore. This is absurd.
They're still in high school, babe. They're still in high school, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen that people are going to get hickeys.
I never had
still
one.
give hickeys.
Yeah.
I never had one.
You don't have to be in high school.
You've never had one?
Well, you should.
I never had one.
You dated great guys.
You should go out there and get one.
My little sister had one when we went on vacation once, and a man in a shop pointed it out to my father. Really.
You should find it. You should go and find yourself a boyfriend who'll give you one, or if you've got one, you should.
I will say that the curl and iron excuse.
It does.
I've heard that one before.
I've done it.
We all have. Now, do we?
It doesn't work.
Do we buy that Quinn is with Finn for good, for real, or is she playing him again?
No, they're not even trying to make us buy that. They're clearly showing that she has ulterior motives here.
The king and queen of the prom.
Yeah.
Then we have our final moment, our final scene between our adult king and queen of the prom.
Where Matthew Morrison says he's doing the dance moves to get them Finn-proof, which... I mean,
funny.
Sam is the worst dancer in that group.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely not Finn. Sam is the worst dancer. The Justin Bieber episode...
Sorry, Cord.
Wasn't that...
It was some awesome film editing and cinematography in that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of tight close-ups of the head, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I loved the Queen is teaching the kids to get their Stevie Nicks on.
Yes.
That was very clever wordplay.
This was good acting.
They're going to hook it up. Apart from it was good. There was just that one line he said when he walked up.
The cheesy one.
Yeah, this is one cheesy line he had. But
No, when he flips her and he says, "I'm a really good educator."
No, that was funny. That was fine. It was cheesy, but it was self-aware. This other one he said just before this bit in the scene was a bit.
Would you do that, Paul?
Do this flip thing?
Yeah.
Have done it, baby.
He's not.
Many times.
I
it
think
works.
When he's waltzing.
Yeah.
Yes. Which you're gonna do next week, right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna waltz with Buzz.
Buzz will be into it.
Hey, Buzz. So anyway, so then they have this. Oh, there it is, the big swoosh, and he gets to kiss Gwyneth Paltrow. And at that point, he's like, "Thank you, God. I've achieved a goal." I mean. And poor Chris Martin's at home somewhere with his,
just Gwyneth's off singing, and she's in LA. She's never coming home to look after the kids.
That's tough.
Yeah, he really has a rough life.
Yeah, he does. So look, as a whole, I mean, this episode, there were some great one-liners. There were lots of good moments. I liked some of the way that they dealt with the issues, but to me, it wasn't quite as successful as the drinking episode. It's an episode that tries to deal with an issue, and as we've kind of deconstructed it, we found more and more problems with it than maybe I thought I did on the first viewing. Agreed?
Well, I think they've really, sex has been the topic of every issue, or every episode.
But it's specifically about sex education.
Right, I understand that, but I don't think they really approached it in a different way that they approach any of their episodes. They're all overtly sexual in their entirety, from start to finish. In the way that, well, yeah, I mean, it's like a part of Gwyneth's argument in that first scene with them is like, look at what they're bombarded with every day in the media, on telly, sex, right. And this show is no different. Right, it's no different. And also, they talked about the idea of talking about sex. They didn't actually, they have the opportunity here. It's a television show to get into some detail. And do it in a clever way, and kind of embed, like she said, hide the vegetables in the food, embed those ideas. Well,
I didn't get the impression that they were going to be any more knowledgeable by the end of this show either.
Right.
No, I didn't either.
Right.
Don't you think it's odd that it was such a big episode on drinking and all that last week, which is a great message towards anybody out there, mostly kids, but then drinking and then sex, those go together.
A bit heavy-handed.
Heavy-handed. I felt like it was a heavy-handed follow-on to the last episode.
Yeah, let's do some issues, and
they needed to do a little some.
It does. It is strange. It is strange sometimes. And I found this in the first season. The season structure. Excuse me. Like there'll be a couple of episodes like this where they're dealing with just issues. Then they'll go back into narrative development of just like character driven for a couple of episodes. Then we'll do Chris Colfer's gay stuff for 3 episodes.
They do seem to have fun they'll be like, and we're just gonna have a couple episodes where we dick around and do songs that we like. They do that for a little while.
And a special Britney special.
Get out of my head. It's that wedding special that was so bad.
Yeah,
remember?
That was the worst episode ever, pretty much.
But I remember it the most. I mean, whatever. Yeah. I hope they never do anything like that ever again.
Yeah.
So do you think there's going to be any backlash from all the different parent associations after this? Because they do love to talk about it, and they do love to talk about Leah Michelle on the cover of Rolling Stone and all the business.
They seem to get more upset when Leah Michelle wears a low-cut dress on the front of Rolling Stone or whatever than they do. I hear more about that than I do about the
It's true. Their public personas become more important.
Than the intense double entendre and sexual content of the show itself.
Right.
Or any other and then at the same time on any other channel you're watching the same kind of sexualization of teens and come on, I don't know. It's just double standard rubbish to me. Complaining about the magazines just drives me mental.
Well, I think Skins is going to take some of the heat off of them.
Yeah. Well, everyone pulled their advertising on it, But I mean, I didn't watch that. But the frustrating thing is that apparently the British show is fantastic.
The British show is amazing.
Is amazing.
MTV has now bought 3 British shows. They're turning into
and
American
they just keep
series.
killing them all.
They do keep killing them.
That's a whole special segment to itself. Any other final thoughts before we go to our commercial, ladies?
Oh, well, I just think they're setting up these big themes all the time. What are they going to do next? I mean, we've done the alcohol, we've done the sex education. I mean, I think they're kind of setting themselves up for to keep topping themselves. What are they going to do next?
I don't know.
They've handled the big issues.
It'll probably be time to go back to a Bieber episode or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Do that
we know what they're doing next week. They're doing original songs.
I wonder how successful is that going to be?
We'll
we
see.
won't even know the song.
They
can make a lot more money out of it.
That's for sure.
And save a lot on the license.
They do need to pull the themes back to the music themes, because otherwise it seems contrived. I really do feel like they do. When they have a Michael Jackson themed episode, it's much more. It's much more cohesive.
You can be
in a weird way, even though they're pulling in random bits. Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, the way that the alcohol episode worked, to me that was so smooth that I'm happy Like when it's issue driven like that, it went like all of the songs fit brilliantly. I love the way they dealt with it. I thought it was a top episode. Tonight it didn't work.
Do you think
here's the difference. Ian Brennan didn't write tonight's episode, and to me that guy's the bomb. Like at least what he did with the and that's not to say that Mr. Brad hasn't written good eps, but I felt like it was a poor man's Ian Brennan tonight.
And let's also say, I mean, I think for Gwyneth, the musical numbers when she did the last show with the CeeLo Green, I mean, I think they were all killer. I think the selection for Gwyneth this time just really showed that she was not as great a singer and performer as she likes to think she is.
Well, thank goodness she has a CD though to prove you wrong. She just
signed a contract. Is she just using all those songs from Country Strong? I mean, really? She has 2 hits on country radio. I would know.
There's country radio in Los Angeles.
Let's come back. Let's take a break right now and come back and talk more about Gwyneth and the rest and the fun remaining issues after the break.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call at 347-855-8269.
This television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Get in on the AfterBuzz.
347-855-8269. Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
Listen on iTunes.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from?
Find us on Facebook.
Your husband or your best friend?
Follow us on Twitter.
But then she's trying to kill him, so it justifies it. I'm like, oh, now it makes sense.
And visit us at AfterBuzzTV.com.
The wig will come off. That wig come off, baby.
Oh, what?
Boardwalk Empire.
Desperate Housewives.
Glee.
Gossip Girl.
Breaking Bad.
Mad Men.
True Blood.
The Walking Dead.
Big Love.
Jersey Shore.
The Oscars.
Celebrity Rehab.
The Emmys.
If it's hot, you can bet we'll be buzzing about it.
And we're back live in the AfterBuzz studio, listening to a bit of Glee backing vocals. It's pretty quaint, it's pretty cute. Give it to us, Kat. So Paltrow's got an album coming out. Matthew Morrison's album just came out.
Oh, he's very excited.
Yeah, he's about to tour, right?
And they were plugging that so much on the Grammys.
I know.
Did you see that?
It's amazing.
Even the head of the Grammy,
the cross-pollination.
And not to mention the Warblers are going to have an album as well.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that is a real group then, all those boys that sing behind
I guess it is
him.
now. I mean, isn't it just?
Well, they're voiced by the. I've got the info here. They're voiced by the real life Tufts University a cappella group called the Beelzebubs.
Really?
Oh yeah, the Beelzebubs. They've been on what's that called? The Sing Off, right? The Sing Off.
Yeah, and they've covered Katy Perry's Teenage Dream, Soul Sisters. So I guess this is stuff we'll get on the album. Bills, Bills, Bills. When I Get You Alone, and Silly Love Songs.
Part of our news and gossip. Why don't we go straight into that?
Yeah, like When I Get You Alone is one of the sexiest songs.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So Darren Criss, who plays Blaine, announced that he and the Warblers, the Dalton Academy group that his character is a part of, will be releasing their own album.
Katherine did her homework.
There it is.
All right, Katherine.
Sorry.
Chris made the announcement while appearing on Live with Regis and Kelly. The album is due for release in April and will include such singles as Teenage Dream, Hey Soul Sister, Bills, 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 When I Get You Alone, Silly Love Songs, Animal, and Misery.
Well, it'll certainly sell. That's the tweens and the teens will lap it up.
That guy's so lucky. That Darren Criss kid.
Yeah, he is.
And YouTube sensation, right?
Yeah, well, no. He auditioned.
auditioned.
He auditioned on YouTube, and you go and look at it. And
That's what I mean. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what he did for the second round, but it must have been a lot better than the first. It wasn't bad, but it just
like
was.
His audition.
It was nowhere near as charismatic and well sung as he is capable of. That's all.
And he definitely didn't look like that.
No, he had shaggy hair.
He
was still adorable.
He was adorable. Maybe they saw that he came in and then blew them out of the water. I mean, he delivers every time. I mean, he's pretty slick. You can't deny that. Okay, next, Jess.
And actually, a little info is Teenage Dream is the first song from Glee to actually top the Billboard charts.
Yeah, really?
That was amazing, though. That was one of my faves.
That's the first time we saw him, right? Yeah. And that's, I mean, I think, I have to say, I imagine that has a lot to do with why we've seen so much of him as well. It's all about the numbers, you know? It's all about the numbers. All right.
Chris doesn't mind, but
I don't think he has a choice.
No, probably not.
Well, Diana Agron recently tweeted Woody Allen's newest project will be filmed in Rome with a winking face attached at the end. Rumors have it that the Glee songstress might be up for a role in the upcoming film.
That would make perfect sense that Woody Allen would cast her as his next muse now that Scarlett Johansson's been and gone.
Yeah, 2 women who can't act.
And are blonde bombshells.
I'm blonde and young, yes.
I think it's going a little far.
Going on.
But except, Aunt Scarlett's a little fuller.
A little fuller, but I noticed.
Oh my god. I think calling her a songstress is also going a little far, but she's adorable. But
Diana's kind of like, I mean, she's already starting a film career. I mean, she's been smart. I mean, she's getting
she's
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she also does have the package now, and it's time to capitalize now, because when you're in your early 20s, that you can go like the hotness factor will keep her going for another few years, and then we'll see if she can really act. And
I hope we find out if she can really act before that.
I know.
Well,
I saw her in Burlesque.
Wait,
how
what?
was that?
She was in Burlesque?
She was.
I don't remember her in Burlesque.
What was your?
Don't know. Okay, she was the girlfriend that came back into town with the guy that Christina was living with.
I think I was just like, I just
she
thought
is-
the whole film was so
she's
bad. I
active
don't
or
think
Guys,
I really.
spoiler alert on Burlesque, by the way.
Yeah.
I think Burlesque is long gone, unless you get it on DVD now.
Yeah.
Are they gonna print DVDs of that?
I doubt it.
Love the dancing. It was so good.
All right, next up, Jesse.
Actress Gwyneth Paltrow is embarking on a new singing career after reportedly landing her first record deal.
No shit, genius. Y'all been building this up for like months.
Right. Keep going.
The country strong star, who is married to Coldplay rocker Chris Martin, is set to record her first album after inking a $900,000 recording contract with Atlantic Records, according to Britain's The Sun newspaper.
So what does that mean? I mean, because recording contracts these days, it just means they pay for the
Well, you got to pay it back. I mean,
you got to
it's an
pay
advance.
it back,
Yeah.
right? But is that what this is for someone like Gwyneth Paltrow? I mean, why couldn't she just pay for the recording time herself?
Exactly. I'm sure Chris has got Chris Martin must have a recording studio in the back of the house.
It seems quite strange to me why she needed a recording company to do it.
She could start her own label. That's the niche these days. Anyway, no one is even getting signed by labels.
I mean, she could afford to do it herself and then make all the money. It makes I don't understand.
Maybe Chris Martin isn't on board.
Well, I thought it was interesting, when she had to learn guitar for Country Strong, she made this comment that, because I said, well, can't Chris teach you? And he said, oh no, he hasn't got time for guitar lessons. I'm like going, it's your wife. Why wouldn't you, show her a few chords on the guitar?
I think
Maybe he's not
Beyonce
right.
can teach him.
They might want to keep it separate, as well.
Maybe he
that's
doesn't like the idea that, she's...
Maybe a bit of competition.
Uh-huh.
She's no competition. She's no competition.
No, I don't
for
think
Chris.
he needs to worry.
He's the okay. Next, I got
Well-
some man love over there. I better stop that.
Amber
Get a bit steamy in here.
Amber Riley has revealed that she would love to perform more Michael Jackson tracks. The cast recently covered PYT, Pretty Young Thing, and used the classic song Thriller in a mashup during the Super Bowl episode. However, Riley says she would love to explore Jackson's back catalog in more detail, saying, quote, "We did a mini tribute to him, but we really feel Michael deserves a full tribute."
So Amber Riley is obviously Mercedes, correct?
Yes, that's
Am I right?
Yeah.
I would love to see her do
I want you
some,
back. Some of the J5 stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
she's got a great voice.
She does a great voice. I mean, it was one of those eps where we saw barely anything of a lot of characters. Like we saw no Sue, no Rachel, no Mercedes, no Tina, no Artie. Really, like it was really heavily focused on Gwyneth, and I guess
no Sam.
No Sam.
There's a glimpse of him.
Yeah, I know. What's happened to poor Sam?
No, he's around. He's around. But Santana's not into him. She's just into Brit. Anyway, thanks, Jess.
All right, and that's your AfterBuzz TV Glee news and gossip for the week of March 8th, 2011.
So next week we're going to be looking at some original music. We get back on track.
Who's going to write it? That's what I want to know.
Rachel. Hello.
Oh, I mean, he's really going to write it. He's really on board to write these songs.
Their music guy, what's his name?
I sort of self-indulgent original songs. I just kind of like that's what I'm thinking. You know, let's move to original songs now. I mean, I don't know if this is the right direction.
They're
going to have to be killer
and catchy.
killer
yeah,
songs.
before people like these characters, they just like the music, so they are going to have to really, step it up.
What makes this show so interesting is at the beginning, you know, their words would lead into a song. You're like, what song are they going to sing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But original
and now
songs?
it's going to be like, oh, well, that's not interesting because
we
don't
know
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Definitely a risk.
My prediction is that it won't go beyond one episode. I mean, unless it's a super hit.
It's like
you know, like then they'll. I don't think that they'll be foolish enough to make it a regular thing because it is about the cover. It's the American, it's the idol kind of factor.
Exactly.
Of seeing something done differently, sometimes
it's like
better,
they do everything,
sometimes
even on
better,
Broadway
sometimes
now.
worse.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, American Idol, they just wrote an original song for one of the contestants who actually didn't make it to the top 10, but he had this very emotional backstory, whatever, and they wrote an original song for him, and it's already a hit. So you never know.
It will be a hit because it's on Glee. It's just a matter of if they overfeed it and kill the fish or not. They'll probably overfeed it and not kill the fish, and I'll be wrong. But anyway, the point is, will it be any good? Hopefully, it's better than Rachel's first attempt, her song about the headband, which was hilarious, and I loved that. It was just nice and dry and simple. That I thought was quite clever. But so we've got the regionals. Obviously, they've got to win to get to nationals this year. So it'll be good to see. It'll be good to get back on track, maybe in just some simple, like Glee's goal. Just back to some simple narrative. Who knows? What are any other thoughts about what we might see, guys? No? This is going to be some singing, basically. Yeah. And I guess we'll see Sue back. I'm looking forward to see what
and Beastie, I love her.
Beastie, and we'll see what...
I love her. She's amazing.
She's fantastic. She's a great
We'll see what oral intensity is really all about and how intensely oral they, in fact, are or are not.
Oh, my God.
All right, ladies and gents. So that brings us to the end of AfterBuzz TV for Glee Season 2, Episode 15, titled Sexy. Thank you very much, Katherine, Kat, and Katie. Thanks to Buzz. He's down there. He's looking a bit... he's all right. He's snoozing. Thanks to the boys in the Perspex booth. I'm Paul Ashton. Thanks for listening in or watching on Ustream. This is our first time on Ustream. So thanks for having us Ustream. Keep watching us there, listening in on iTunes or wherever you find us, the AfterBuzzTV.com website. Thanks very much, people.
For producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions, comments, or would like to host an AfterBuzz show of your own, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.